The saddest deaths on The Sopranos. These are just the ones that came to mind. Enjoy. First we got Big Pussy Bumpin' Sarah. Yeah, I know. He's a rat. He's a rat. He was a captain in the DeMeo crime family, but he cooked himself. He fucked up the #1 rule. Don't even sell H. And you got caught selling H. And it's so crazy to me that I've never seen this deleted scene till after I finished The Sopranos, because it's obvious that he flipped. They were never clear about when it happened. But it's definitely clear as day. Like, the way he's moving, his fake back problems, how he's moving, he's very, very weird, and then he's driving around with his fat fucking sidekick Skip, who's obviously an 8. And I feel like what saved him at first was Jimmy, because Tony knew in season 1, and they were suspicious in season 1. Only thing, there was another fat motherfucker just around the corner who was running his mouth more. That's it. But that was basically like his way out. Because honestly, he should have found a way to try to because once Tony found that wire, it was over.
In a fucking half, you've been running your own fucking gossip column? Motherfucker!
Next, we got Jackie Aprile Sr. And honestly, I really wish we saw more of him. But it makes sense for the story. We go from seeing him being the acting boss to him basically deteriorating. And his death definitely affected Tony. That was his best friend, even though Tony has a million best friends. He cried in front of the guys. He would never do that for his mom. Shit. Either way, I wish we definitely saw more of Jackie in the show outside of just flashbacks. And without Jackie, we get Ralph as an influence on Jackie Jr. And man, he thought he was Michael Corleone. Next, we got Christopher Moltisanti. And honestly, it was happening. His death was going to happen at some point. He had no arc. And if I'm not mistaken, I feel like his drug problem started after he got his first body. He was the super junkie. My boy was zooted, booted, gone. Like I said, when I first watched the show, watching some of his trips were very sad and uncomfortable. Michael Imperioli played him very well, cause man, Christopher was fucked up. To the point they had to even call an intervention after his problem becomes more noticeable and he's beating up Adriana.
The sergeant on the operating table.
And speaking of Adriana, she deserves so much better. Like, so much better. And she loved Christopher. She would do anything for Christopher. Just for Christopher to choose Tony over her. The same man that ends up killing you. Outrageous. And honestly, I'm probably going to make a video about this too. Still should have been Paulie. Same person. Next we have Tracy. And I don't remember much about her. I remember that she was around Metal's age and she was working at the Bada Bing. And wanted to be around fucking Ralph, who was constantly treating her like shit. This is around the time we're first introduced to Ralph, and we see how much of a wild fucking animal he is.
Getting his weasel greased.
Oh, your kid brother's here.
Ralphie.
And because he was a great earner, he got away with a lot of that shit. He almost killed the bartender, and then on top of that, the prank calls to Paulie's mom.
I don't know how to put this delicately. He was sucking a Cub Scout stick.
What? No, it's a mistake.
It's like the one time she defends herself. The one time she stands up for herself. He proceeds to beat her to death. To death. To death. And Tony, rightfully so, goes off.
It's my fault she's a klutz.
Next, we got Eugene Pentecorvo. He was a part of the Aprile crew because apparently he grew up with Tony. He was also made in season 3 with Christopher. And we didn't really know too much about him until the later seasons. Then up until the later seasons, we know more. We know that he grew up with Tony and he has a family. And his wife is fed up with his life in the mob. And their son, he's having a bit of a drug problem. And after his aunt passes, she leaves him money. She leaves this motherfucker $2 million. He's gonna use that money as a fresh start and go to Florida. But nobody retires from the mob. And it's cemetery or jail. That's it. And he thought Tony was gonna let him free. He didn't give a fuck about the conversation until he heard money and compensation in the same sentence. And sadly, he thought Christopher would help him. Honestly, he was just using him to go do a hit for him. That's it. But the last straw, also forgot to mention that he was an informant. But this was his last straw when they told him no, that he couldn't move. They wanted him to stay in Jersey and testify, especially after the death of Ray Curto, who I'm surprised nobody found out was an informant at all. After being told no, you can see the sadness on his face, and you can tell this was it, especially looking at photos of his family. He wanted the pain and the pressure to go away. Bobby Baccalieri, being the butt of the joke in earlier seasons, surrounded by other fat motherfuckers.
I think it's time for you to start to seriously consider salads.
What do you mean?
He's probably the only guy outside of Johnny Sack that didn't cheat on his wife. He went through a lot of tragedies, I'm not gonna lie. Like, first losing his father, getting his old ass out of retirement was always stupid to me. I don't know why Gigi thought this made sense. And the death of his wife, Karen. Making him a single father to 2 kids. But outside of all that, he, over time, definitely became one of the most loved characters on the show. And a trusted caretaker for Junior. He even ends up being underboss. And also, it does help being married to a soprano.
Redneck fuck. My baby was on that ride, my wife.
I just wish he had his phone on him. If he had his phone on him, he'd still be alive. That shit was so sad. He's looking for trains for him and his son. And then, boom, these motherfuckers come in there. Adriana LaServa. She was betrayed by the feds and by Christopher, who put her through the fucking ringer. He was beating on her, cheating on her, all while she had his back. And what that federal agent did, what was her name, Danielle? She was fucked up for that. I feel like Adriana was a little naive, because I'm like, you got people in your family that are in that life, so I feel like you should be a little more in tune. But to be fair, she didn't have no friends. She's in her 20s if I'm not mistaken, so she's like 10 to 15 years younger than all the other mob wives. Also, she's not a mob wife, she's a mob girlfriend. But to be so willing to just spill the beans like that is still crazy. Her ass was in Tony's house. The feds doing what they've been doing in this show is out here lying and getting these fucking informants killed with the quickness. And this had to be going on for like a year or two. And the timing when she tells Christopher is so bad. First off, it's really sad to see all these ass whoopings she keep taking for no reason. Once Christopher finds out, he has to choose between Tony and Adriana. And who does he choose? Yep, the uncle that doesn't give a fuck about him. Gloria Trillo and Tony's relationship was doomed for the start for multiple reasons. 1, Tony's married, just stating the obvious. And 2, between Tony's panic attacks and his mommy issues, and the fact that Gloria is also in therapy for her bipolar disorder. Yeah, this shit was just riddled with red flags. And then the more their relationship grew, the more things got worse. And they got violent, got toxic. Tony chokeslams her like he's Kane. She throws a big ass steak at him. And somehow it manages to get worse. She coincidentally meets Carmela, brings her home and everything, and tells Tony in one of their arguments that she is gonna tell his wife about him, and she knows about Meadow at Columbia and shit. And not only does Tony break it off, but he has Patsy warn him.
Tony Soprano, shut the fuck up and listen. It's over. Capiche?
Sadly, she ends up taking her life. Truly a sad character, and they should have never met.
I died too young.